So, I just wrapped up watching the premiere episode of Sentenced to be a Hero and oh my god, let me tell you something. This is 58 minutes of absolute straight up cinema. Absolute peak. Like seriously, from the very first minutes all through towards the credits, there wasn't a single second. 1 minute where I felt like my time was being wasted. Every scene, every frame just filled me in deeper. Guys, I'm telling you right now, you 100% have to watch Sentenced to be a Hero. Drop whatever you're doing right now. If you're holding your kid, if you're washing your car, like drop it and go and freaking watch Sentenced to be a Hero. I literally cannot believe what I just experienced. Like, this was a revelation moment. Like, I don't know how to explain, but it was good. Like, hands down, no exaggeration. This has to be one of the best art and animation I've seen in a very long time. The visuals are stunning, the fluid action, the detailed background, it's all incredible. But hold on, it's not just the art and animation carrying the whole thing. No way, not at all. The character acting is on another level. The voice acting delivers every emotion perfectly. The music builds so much tension and it hits all the right notes, and everything, literally everything comes together to create what I can only describe as one of the best anime experiences I've personally had in years, honestly, in years. I'm not joking around here. It's that phenomenal. Okay, like, just take this one scene here for example. It's absolutely insane. To give you some context without spoiling too much, our protagonist Xylo Forbartz is thrown into this intense life or death battle situation, right? Chaos everywhere, people around him dying left and right, his comrades falling one after the other, screams filling the air. It's freaking brutal, honestly. The entire episode is building up these heavy implications, and then it fully confirms towards the end that Zylo is suffering from deep PTSD. He's been through so much, constant death, squads getting completely unalived and wiped out, and time again, and it's all weighing on him. In this pivotal moment, he absolutely refuses to form a pact with the goddess Teorita. She's essentially this powerful living weapon, and accepting the pact would trigger all his buried trauma. You can see it in his eyes. He's desperately begging the captain of the Holy Knights to take the pact instead, to bond with her. But in the middle of all this madness, nobody responds. All you hear is screams, chaos, people panicking and dying in the background. And when he realizes there's no other way, no escape, he has to accept it, and boom, he starts reliving his past horrors. Flashbacks overlapping with the current fight. The way the animation layers internal breakdown with the external battle, like honestly, it's masterful. The character acting in this scene alone is just phenomenal. It's insane. It sells every bit of pain, desperation and rage. You feel it right in your chest, like you feel like you're in the moment yourself. Like, going into this, my biggest worry was that the show would rely too heavily on its stunning art and animation to carry what might be a mediocre or weak story. I've seen that happen before. Pretty visuals masking very thin plots, but no, absolutely not here. I'm not joking, the story is legitimately fantastic. It takes some of those classic fantasy cliches we've all seen, but executes them so brilliantly. It twists them in such smart ways that they feel fresh and impactful. I sat through the whole thing and I didn't have a single real complaint about this episode. Zero. Sure, if I nitpick super hard enough, there are some minor imperfections, tiny little things here and there, but honestly, like, in the grand scheme of things, who cares about all that? Like, it's insignificant. They vanish completely when you look at how epic everything really is. And oh man, let's talk about the final segment of the episode, because it just nails everything perfectly. It sets up the series' big goals, the protagonist's motivations, why Zylo behaved the way he did throughout the entire premiere, his reluctance, his pushaways, like all of it makes sense now. Like, I genuinely feel like every single production decision from the storyboarding stages all the way through the directing and editing was made intentionally to build towards the massive payoff. It's so well crafted. If you haven't watched it yet, please go and do it, I beg you. It's fantastic. You'll thank me later, honestly. And you guys have to subscribe because I put you guys on peak. But imagine this. Imagine if the episode ended right before the huge battle kicks off. Like, the Holy Knights gearing up, they're about to go to the front lines and charge into the enemy, tension is at its peak, and then the credits roll. I'm very sure we'd all scream at our screens, begging for more, but no. Because this premiere is a full 58 minutes long, essentially the length of 2 or 3 standard episodes, smashed into one without any padding. Without feeling stretched or boring at all, it delivers this complete, fully satisfying arc in one extended episode. It's clearly designed that way from the ground up, and it works so perfectly, no filler, just pure story progression and emotional build-up. The choice to close out with that backstory reveal, explaining exactly why Xylo Forbartz was branded with the title Hero, is straight up masterful. Genius level storytelling. Like, throughout the episode, you kind of suspect something horrible, like something horribly tragic happened to him in his past, something that broke him, but when they actually show it, When you see the full truth, like damn, this series is going to be incredible. Mark my words, the ending segment pulled the exact same raw, gut-wrenching emotion out of me when I remembered feeling like something I remembered feeling during the rising of a shield hero. And look, we're strictly talking about season 1 here, okay? No later seasons, just the first one. If you've seen it, you know exactly what I mean. The shield hero exploded in popularity back then because that revenge plotline was executed so well. Everything that happened to Naofumi, the betrayal, the injustice, it pissed you off in all the right ways. You got so angry on his behalf that you felt like fully invested in the show, honestly. I know I did. Desperately wanting to see him rise up and get his justice. Sentenced to be a Hero captures that same intense fire. In fact, it captures it even more. That same drive for revenge, born from betrayal. But honestly, I think it takes it even further, like it takes it up a notch with more depth. The animation is superior, the storytelling is tighter and more nuanced, the character focus is way more layered. There's been a huge gap in time since like the Shield Hero Season 1 dropped, and the dark fantasy anime trope has come a long way, but still, when it comes to the presentation of a premiere for a tragic, revenge-driven like dark story, this has to be one of the absolute best like first episodes I've personally seen in over decades, and I'm dead serious about this. I'm not joking. I'm like, no recency bias talking here, no hype clouding my judgment. I'm being 100% honest. Like, it's extremely impactful. Look at this first episode alone. Strictly from the premiere, I have to say that this is probably the best pure fantasy anime I've watched in years, like sincerely years. That's it. The closest thing I could compare it to, and it might even sit on the same level or maybe slightly edge it out a bit, is Free Ren Beyond the Journey's End. That's how high I'm placing it. I'm not throwing it with Mushoku Tensei fully into the comparison because like that's heavy isekai with reincarnation tropes and elements, you know, transported or reborn into another world. That's its thing. But this, Sentenced to be a Hero, is straight up dark fantasy set in its own original, completely messed up world. Imagine Berserk, but a little bit toned down. No isekai tropes here, at least not from what we've seen in the premiere. So yeah, comparing it to pure fantasies like Free Ren makes sense. The stories are different at their core, yes, the themes vary, but presentation wise, the world building, the emotional weight, the visuals, I put this right alongside Free Ren, side by side. It's that freaking good, and I can't even believe I'm saying this out loud, like, but it's extreme, it's true, it's honest, like, I'm not lying to you, it's amazing. And get this, ironically, the anime is airing right now, in the same season as Free Ren Season 2. When I first heard about the schedule, I honestly thought Free Ren Season 2 would completely overshadow it and steal all the spotlight, but no, I was dead wrong, and I'm happy I was wrong. Sentenced to be a Hero stands tall on its own merits. It doesn't need to hide in anyone's shadow. In those niche fantasy circles, you know, the ones that the communities are obsessed with, stuff like Free Ren, Mushoku Tensei, ReZero, all those fancy animes, like this show is going to blow up massively. I'm calling it out now. If the quality stays anywhere near this consistent, if the storytelling keeps this level of excellence, we're looking at one of the standout new animes of 2026, straight up. And remember, I'm not counting sequels or continuations here. I'm talking brand new series only. This could legitimately be like a contender for anime of the year already, right off the gate in early 2026. I can't believe how insanely good this premiere turned out to be. Alright, with that said and done, let's dive a little deeper into the episode itself. The character development, the themes, the world building, all the stuff that really stood out to me personally. Like, there's so much to unpack here, and you know, one of the absolute strongest elements, in my opinion, is the dynamic between the main character Xylo Forbartz and his goddess Teorita. It's so significant, so well handled, that you notice right away how he interacts with her, or rather, how he avoids interacting with her. The big revelation at the end ties everything together perfectly. Xylo Forbartz explains how a goddess, if she loses control or gets corrupted, becomes this enormous threat, potentially turning into something like a demon lord capable of destroying the entire world. We see those subtle signs of corruption building on Teorita throughout the episode. The visual cues on her body, the blood, the way she's struggling, like it's creeping in slowly if you notice. So in his past, Zylo had to make the impossible choice. He had to kill his previous goddess to prevent that catastrophe. He sacrificed everything, his bonds, his future, his own happiness for the greater good, to save humanity and the world. That's the most heroic thing anyone could do, right? Putting aside personal desires and doing what's necessary, no matter the cost. But then, the irony hits like a truck. In return for this ultimate sacrifice, he's rewarded with the title of hero. And in this world, being called a hero isn't actually a good thing, it's the opposite. It's the worst label you could have. It brands you as the most vile, disgusting criminal imaginable. You're seen as scum beneath society, unworthy of respect or even basic human decency. Your presence alone is revolting to people. The entire concept of what a hero means is flipped completely over its head. And yeah, sure, flipped hero tropes have been done before, honestly, and have been done honestly in other stories, but the way it's executed here, with the writing, the emotional build-up, the art, the animation, the music swelling at the right moments, it's perfect. So it's so tragic and so heartbreaking. You feel the weight of that injustice immediately. That's why Xylo Forbartz's behavior with Teorita makes so much sense in hindsight. He constantly pushes her away throughout the episode. He doesn't want to look at her, acknowledge her, or even interact with her power at all. He refuses to use it, even when it could help. Wait, that's weird. If he's supposed to be a vile criminal, this outcast that society hates, you'd expect him to seize the goddess Pact immediately. I know everyone wants one, its power, status, a weapon that the holy knights and the kingdom covets. A criminal like him could use it for revenge, to climb the ranks, to force a better life, right? But no, he rejects it. And as the episode goes on, you get these little hints, like these small clues that he's had the goddess before. So your mind starts racing. Okay, you start thinking, like, maybe something went wrong, maybe she betrayed him, maybe that's why he doesn't trust Teorita, why he wants nothing to do with another pact. It could make sense if the previous one was evil, or maybe she actually set him up. That's the suspicion building. You're second guessing everything, right? But then the reveal comes, and looks are totally deceiving. It wasn't betrayal from her side. Zylo acts tough like a hardened criminal at times, but he's not. He's just doing his duty, following orders like any knight would. Well, mostly. The big twist is, he was deliberately set up, sent to that deadly battlefield with his platoon and his goddess, promised backup that never arrived. They had to fight endless hordes of monsters, overexerting themselves to the point where everyone died one by one. His comrades failed. Then his goddess, from pushing her powers too far, he was forced into killing her to stop the corruption from spreading. All because the higher ups didn't like him. He was independent on the field, making quick calls as a commander to save lives, get the job done efficiently, selfless acts, but not always blindly obedient. They saw him as a threat. He was too strong, too renowned, and too popular with everyone. So they orchestrated this fall from grace, sacrificing him and even a goddess to tarnish his name forever. No one would believe his side. His reputation was completely destroyed. And that opens up so many questions, so much intrigue. Did the higher ups know about the corruption risk? Did they want it to happen? What if Zylo hadn't killed her? Would the world have ended, or worse? Are they secretly aligned with the demons, working towards letting the demon lords rise? Why do these demon lords keep appearing anyways? There's layers of mysteries here that have me like completely hooked, dying to see where the story goes next. Speaking of the demons, the visual storytelling around the world building is outstanding. Pure, like it's pure. The show like doesn't tell you, but they take those sequences with the demon blight spreading. You see it's corrupting corrupting everything instantly. Regular animals like frogs hopping around, birds flying overhead. They make contact with the spores or miasma and boom, twisted into horrors immediately. The environment itself warps, landscape turning into nightmarish scenes. It makes the threat feel so real, so freaking terrifying. This isn't just some big bad deal. The demon lord's presence itself is poison to the world, adding endless corrupted forces to its army. It's scary, it's powerful, and the visual sells it without needing any exposition dumps. And what's wild is this is labeled the 47th demon lord. This means there have been 46 before it, all supposedly defeated or eradicated at some point. But they keep coming back, respawning in some form, maybe stronger each time, escalating the danger. Like, I have theories that it could be tied to the goddesses somehow. Like, maybe corrupted ones are reborn as demon lords. Like, who knows, but it's possible, because from what we've seen behind, it could be pushing towards that direction. Well, the point is, we actually see this 47th demon lord get taken down in the premiere itself. Like, full on defeated, dead, killed over. Like, I was legitimately shocked. Like, killing what feels like the final boss in episode 1 is really a bold move, but of course, the cycle isn't broken. More will come. That imminent threat hanging over everything. It's brilliant world building, like it's legit brilliant world building. And it adds to the tension and wonder about the lore. Throw in the production quality on top of all that, Studio Kai handling the animation, and you can actually see the echoes of their work in Mushoku Tensei Season 1. Some character designs, especially Teorita, have that similar vibe, cute but detailed, expressive, The movement itself is fluid and impactful. Facial expressions convey so much. The soundtrack elevates every scene. The brilliant character acting through animation alone. Like, honestly, when you look at certain shots, the way the bodies move in battle, the weight behind attacks, it's crazy good. Everything is firing on all cylinders like V8 engine style. Honestly, guys, this premiere is going to be incredibly hard to beat. Like, not many animes this season, or even in recent years, could top something like this. Maybe big hitters like the JJK sequel or Free Rent Season 2 could come close, but for a new show with an hour-long debut that tells a contained yet hype-building story from the start to finish is badass, pure badass. Every element just works. The story, the characters, action, emotion, visuals, it's got it all. So yeah, go watch Sentenced to be a Hero immediately. It's legitimately a fantastic show with insane potential. So if you guys like this video, I can make a follow-up video tomorrow that dives deeper into stuff like specific themes, mysteries, or even like my weird predictions. So that's it for today, guys. Smash that like button, hit the bell notification to get notified about new videos I release whenever. And yeah, I love you guys and see you on the next video. Bye.